What's up, dudes? Welcome back to the Limelight Podcast. We don't have a guest on today, so we're going to be pretty much going over what's going on with Guitar Center
Got
and
me.
how they filed for bankruptcy again.
I'm the guest.
You are the guest. You're the obligated guest, and your name's in the intro now, so it's real.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
all real. I don't think this is the first time Guitar Center has actually filed for bankruptcy before. It seems like what I'm trying to get from these articles, like Bloomberg, I'm looking at it right now. It says it says that they are trying to reconstruct their debts, which could see certain holders take control of the company, according to people with knowledge of the situation. And it's crazy too, because like we just talked to Mike from SJC, and he just made a partnership with distribution with Guitar Center musicians friends. So I don't know.
Yep. Looks like he got saved.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it's mostly because of the pandemic.
I'm pretty sure Guitar Center is pretty much owned by big corporations anyway at this point. So
I haven't really gone to a Guitar Center in so long. I usually go to my local music store, Music Forte, down the street in Bucks County, to get sticks and stuff. I mean, if I had to get drum heads, like yeah, for sure, like I'll go to Guitar Center, but I very rarely go in there at all.
that's where I just bought all that gear I bought the other day was at a Guitar Center. Actually, I bought one of the pedals at Sam Ash because Sam Ash is literally right next to Guitar Center here, and I went over to like price comparison over to Guitar Center because it's like within walking distance.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went in there. Well, let's back this up. Since I heard about the bankruptcy thing, I went on like a Guitar Center tour on Sunday, and I went to Cherry Hill, and then I went to Plymouth Meeting, and then when I went to Plymouth Meeting, they usually have better stock there because I bought my Fender Ultra Jazz bass there,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, I'll go there. I was looking to buy a Les Paul just because I don't have one. And I went out there. They had nothing on the shelves. Nothing. Everything was gone. The Cherry Hill one was completely fully stocked up. So then I pivoted, went back to Cherry Hill the other day, and I bought that short scale bass instead with all that the doodads to go along with it. But it was weird. Plymouth Meeting's like completely like gutted of inventory. I don't know if it's because of COVID or if it's like they're planned on shutting down sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
So
It says it's going to give it a break. The bankruptcy will give the company a break on its debts by letting it operate in the business while management shuts underperforming location and works on a recovery plan. Because the Trocadero in Philadelphia on Arch Street, I mean, that's gone now. But I remember, like, over the years, they filed for bankruptcy multiple times. I guess they had just owners coming in and trying to, like, reestablish, like, a management purpose to keep it running. But, oh, dude, that Fender Jazzman, like, I love how you walked in that store and were going to buy, and the employee was really upset because he was like looking at it for a while.
I know, because I went in and my whole justification was I was like, I was thinking between because that's a very expensive bass, and I was like, I'm only going to spend that kind of money if I get the exact one I want and the finish I want. Everything has to be perfect because the one I played was a 4-string and it was like in that
Yeah, that's right.
Fender white coating, and I was like, holy shit, this feels incredible. But I want a 5-string and I wanted it in the 3-tone Ultra Burst. So if I'm spending that kind of money, I was like, I'm getting what I want. So I was like, if it's at Plymouth Meeting Guitar Center, I'm gonna buy it. If it's there, I'm gonna buy it. And then I look 5 rows up at the top of the store. There it was. It's sitting up there. I go up to the guy 5 minutes into being there. I was like, hey man, I hate to be that guy, but would you mind cherry picking that 5-string down from the top row? And he looked at me. He's like, are you going to buy it? I'm like, yeah, I think so. And he goes, oh, I was going to buy it this week.
you took his firstborn child from him, basically. Like
that man was devastated, but I was very proud of my purchase.
he should have gotten a good commission check out of it. So I mean,
Yeah,
who's to say? That is
yeah,
really funny.
that's what I feel bad the most about. Is like I've probably only had maybe one negative experience at a Guitar Center. Everybody else, like the employees and everybody else, have been so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I hate to see them struggle if that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've always heard weird things about Guitar Center, and they're not treated as well as they would like to be. I mean, it's actually it's insane. So out of like the 28 years I've been on this fucking planet, I've all the jobs that I've done through over the years, like while being in the band and stuff, and like doing music on the side, as well as like working your full-time jobs, your 9 to 5. I've never once ever like, and on being dead serious about this, I've never been denied a job when I go in through an interview. I would always kill the interview, and I always get into it. And then I applied for a Guitar Center gig
Mhm.
in Bucks County. A friend of mine worked there. He's like, yeah, you'll get the job easily. Like, you're a really good drummer. Well, I was like, all right, cool. Like, I'll go apply. And then they didn't fucking hire me. I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? And like, dude, the weirdest excuse. I even had these like Chucks that were like pleather, and they were like really shiny black. He's like, oh, dude, I love those Chucks. Like, thanks, man. I'm like, fucking rock and roll. You know what I mean? So I'm like trying to butter this guy up, and then my old friend, I haven't seen him or talked to him in years. He was like, yeah, apparently you like burped in the interview or something, and like. And there was multiple people. It wasn't just me. It was like 4 other people too. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That never happened. Like that literally never happened. And if I did, like, I would cover my mouth. I'm not an ignorant fuck. So where is this coming from? And that's the only job I've never gotten was Guitar Center. But I hear like mixed feelings about it. Like, especially if it's based on commission. So you know what you're talking about. You know what you're selling. It's a passion, and you can really enjoy selling the brand to customers and what they're looking for. So I don't know, but what I knew Guitar Center wasn't doing well. I forget. Like there was a time period where like I didn't walk into a Guitar Center because I was also ordering drum heads off of Sweetwater because I knew what I wanted, so I didn't really want to like go out to a Guitar Center or whatever. And they started putting these music lesson booths together where the accessories used to be, and I'm like, oh, this isn't good. If they have to like go to start teaching. I mean, they should have been doing that years ago. I mean, because you get it from your, the kids get it from the schools that they go to, or you have School of Rock, or you go to a local music store that hosts music lessons. But I was like, when I saw Guitar Center like really putting up that promotion for teaching lessons for kids, it's great. I get it. It's a little expensive. But I was like, oh, they're way far behind. They must be doing terrible.
Yeah, I've always heard. I heard that the way they pay their employees isn't the best. I don't know anybody that's personally have ever worked there, but everybody that I've talked to that knows somebody that's worked there, they said they're kind of like their structure on how they go about the payment process and the commissioning process is not the best. Because it's like they're more like I like equate them to like the Walmart of guitar stores and music stores, which sucks. So it's like, yeah, you can get anything you want there. But it's like sometimes I notice that, like especially if something's been sitting on the rack for a long time, like a lot of it'll be like completely just it'll just be a complete mess setup wise. So you can tell that like nobody's doing like QC on whether or not it's in good shape or not in some of the places I've gone to. But it's like the people are always great though. The people that actually work there are always at least interested to talk to you about.
Yeah.
They're not going in there to buy right away. They don't just write you off. They like actually enjoy what they do.
The best is when they nerd out, and then I just nerd out with them, and then we just like talk for like hours and shit. That's like the cool part about it. I'm sure the one annoying thing about working at Guitar Center though is the fact that you have cool guys coming in all the time and checking out amps and fucking playing Stairway to Heaven or some kind of fucking Metallica riff and probably go fucking nuts. That would kill me, dude. That would honestly kill me.
I always bring my buddy Johnny anytime I go to a guitar shop when I'm like thinking about buying something because I'm not a gearhead at all. I just like to play. So when I go, he's like a freaking music historian. So I'll ask him about like what I should be looking at to get like what I have in my head. Cause it's like, I feel like I'm like, you know how like car guys are always like explain, I always explain guitars and music like cars. Cause you got people that will buy shit and they're the kind of people that get satisfaction out of working on it all the time. Like I'm the kind of guy when I buy a car, I don't want to touch it. I just want to drive it.
Right. Exactly. I'm the same way.
So when I buy an instrument, I'm buying an instrument to just play it. I'm not buying it to tinker with it unless it's absolutely necessary. So I'll bring him with me. And we were in there and I was looking at when I bought my first, I was looking at my first Paul Reed Smith and he's a very big fan of Fenders, so he was showing me like the Telecasters, and I was really interested in the Telecaster 72 Deluxe, just because it had a Les Paul feel to it. And he was explaining it to me, and the salesperson came over. They like legitimately offered him a job on the spot.
That's
he was like,
badass.
"Yeah, that's how much he knows about it." And he's like, "No, it's good. Oh, I'm good." But he knows enough where initially right off the bat they were like, "Hey, would you ever like want to work here?"
Yeah,
Just hearing.
seriously. But they also need people that like could probably even try to help fix a guitar in itself if they're um if something's broken, like Mike from Guitar Rescue. Like
Yep.
they're also looking for those types of professions. So if you know so much to in depth of like the detailed guitar part of everything, like you're obviously going to try to get a job because there's not a lot of people out there that actually do that as a profession.
Mm-mm. Well, they when I was reading enough about how they filed for bankruptcy, they missed a $45 million interest payment.
Oh, that's not
That's
okay.
that's just interest.
Right, that's just the interest alone. Could you imagine what the debt is if that's the interest is 45
Yeah.
billion? It's probably like it's probably half a billion, maybe.
It's insane. Like guitar stores are an outdated thing because you could just get like Sweetwater. I think it's Sweetwater that will legitimately they'll set up a guitar for you before it even gets sent to your house. When you order it, they'll ask you like all the specifications that you want if they can work within it. And that's something you can't really get from Guitar Center because it's like the same thing with buying shoes. Like when you buy shoes, all shoes fit differently, just like all guitars fit differently.
Right, for sure.
It's kind of neat that they circumvent that aspect of it because I have never bought a guitar online yet, just because every time I do it, I get nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that there's ways that they get around the nerve wracking aspects of it.
I've definitely bought drum sets online. My D drum, my old D drum, I think it was a 6 piece with 2 floor toms and shit. Dude, I bought that online and it came because I already have the specifications. Like I already know the sizes, I already know what it's gonna sound like. You can already just I think they actually had it back in the day. This was back in like 2007, 2008. They had like a sound clip that you can like actually play samples of what the kit sounds like with cymbals, with certain cymbals. So that was pretty cool. But
Oh, really?
no, I wouldn't really. I mean, walking into a store and playing a drum set feels great, but as a drummer, I already know what I'm looking into. But it's cool that they could get to the specifications with the guitars. I mean, there's not a lot of luthiers out there, so I mean, that's um, I would really probably want to play a guitar in store first before I would get it shipped to my house, especially with like just shipping alone. Like it's very risky to ship a guitar. Like anything can happen to it. I mean, I know you can pack it and seal it how you want. The neck can get warped, things can break. I don't know. I'm with drums. It's like, they're all centered together in a drum in itself, and the accessories are usually shipped separately in a different box or in the middle of actual
Yeah.
the drum. Like when I got my Truth kit, my custom Truth kit, it was my kick. Yeah, it was kick tom and floor tom in the middle, and then all my accessories were like in the middle. And there was like so much room that they only shipped it in one box, and it was actually pretty incredible. But yeah, I'd be risky. But I've had friends that order guitars online and they haven't had too many issues,
No,
especially
I've heard it's
custom.
very. It's not. I'm just weird like that. I didn't start even using Amazon until probably like last year. So
Not a lot of people have. I don't know. I'd be so fearful of anything breaking. Um, I can't think of an example of anything that I've ordered online like that has just been completely shattered. Um, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Amazon.
I
It's just
bought a
I.
I bought a beer. Um, Shit, what am I thinking of? What's it called? A mash tun for making beer
Mm-hmm.
to do it at the house, and it was the first one I bought where it was like an all in one system. And I spent good money on it, and it came and it was broke
Oh,
because
I
I
remember you telling me that. I forgot about that.
was so pissed. I ended up. It was pretty easy, like sending it back and stuff. But that's like the stuff. When I get something, I don't want to send it back, so it's more of a headache, and I just don't feel like going out to the store, going out to UPS, putting it in a box, then coming back home, then waiting again, being pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
But it was pretty easy. I got it back within a couple of days, but that was like the one time. That's the only time really I've ever ordered anything online and it came not as expected and it had like deficiencies to it. But it is what.
Yeah, and just going back to the Guitar Center shit in general, like I mean, the pandemic's not really gonna help Guitar Center at all, or any convenience store or any local business at all. Like the capacity. I mean, Mike seems like he's doing a pretty good job with the Guitar Rescue, where he has his pickup location, his drop off, like his outside pickup and drop off locations, and you have to set times and dates on his Facebook, and there's ways of going about it. I don't know about teaching. I don't know if that you're separated with plexiglass or something, but um,
Online is what everybody does.
yeah, online, yeah. And I have a couple students myself, but we just socially distance, and like it's in their house, so everybody's comfortable with it. But the fact of the matter is, like, I like they asked me in the beginning of the pandemic. They were like, "Would you want to do online?" I'm like, it's not easy with drums, man. Like that is so fucking difficult. Like if I'm trying to like have a conversation with the kid while he's playing,
Drums
how's
is
he gonna
different.
hear me?
Nah, I would guitar. You could definitely do it virtually. It's
Right.
way easy. Just be like, learn this scale.
Yeah, or
And
vocals.
what the scale is, and tell them how it works. And but drums, yeah, it seems way more difficult. I wouldn't be comfortable taking drum lessons online.
I try getting him on a drum pad, and he doesn't like it too much. Like he really likes playing the drums. So I'm like, all right, well, in the beginning of the pandemic, I didn't see him for the first 2 months, and then they were comfortable. I was like, all right, we'll Zoom, and it's fine. But yeah, it's hard. I mean, unless you put him on a pad or something, that's about it. Teach him rudiments, teach him like different stroke patterns, and try to really build up your chops in itself. Like, and sometimes kids don't want to learn that, man. They just want to fucking rock out. Like I have him learning 21 Pilots. What song have I taught him from 21 Pilots? And I actually recognize the beat. He's 10 years old. The dude can pick up a beat within like I think like 5 to 10 minutes when I teach him, and his lessons are only a half hour. But now he's starting to improvise on himself, and I'm like, dude, this sounds just like. Is it stressed out? It's either stressed out or ride. But he played that beat that sounds familiar to him. I was like, dude, you're already playing 21 Pilots. You don't even realize it. And he like freaked out. So now we're focused on that. He's a cute kid. It's cool shit.
What's your favorite thing to teach a young kid when you're playing drums?
That's a good question. I mean, with him, I only have 2 students, so the one thing I really thoroughly enjoy is teaching ghost notes. I think once they understand the concept of how to control your accented hits in general, their face is just like lit up, like, oh wow, I never thought you could do that. Like it opens up a whole new world for him. Like I'm just making them do doubles with it. So I'll do singles with the right hand, and just be like, and then I'll bring the right hand over to the snare drum, like I'll just make him do doubles with his left, and then as he's doing singles on the right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the third hit that'll be his accent on the snare, and he's freaks out. And he's like, then I just tell him to do something simple on the kick. But I love teaching like those specific things to like make their mind explore more opportunities because they need to improvise. Like the kids need to improvise, and they need to like they hear a song they play. Like he plays Back in Black by AC/DC like without any hesitation. So now, yeah, now he's actually kind of improvising during when the guitar solo comes in. He'll kind of follow along with it. So it's really cool. I think you should get into teaching. I think you would thoroughly enjoy it. It's really fun when the kids actually are involved and have a good time doing it instead of babysitting
Yeah,
them.
I've thought about it. I just got busy for a while, and I just didn't take advantage of it. But there's always time to do it. Because the weird thing is I always feel inadequate for whatever. But there's never really a point where you feel like you know it all because you never do. So it's really it's really difficult to like. I don't know. I've just never taught anybody before, but I do. I wish people understood how easy it is to. If like all you want to do, most people I always hear them talk about is I wish I could just play like my favorite songs, and it's like you can like anybody can play their favorite songs. It's really easy. You don't need like this innate ability to be able to play an instrument, especially guitar. Guitar is very easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the mastery of guitar is very difficult. I'm like, there's only a finite amount of notes, and if you learn the major notes and the minor notes, you pretty much can play anything you want. It might not sound exactly the way you want, but most of your favorite songs will, especially if you're listening to like pop and stuff like that or early Beatles stuff. Like people just don't realize how simple it is once you get over like the finger positions.
Mm-hmm. No,
That's
true.
working through the paint on your hands. That's it. And then once you do it, it's like, oh, that was easy as shit.
Let's keep going.
Yeah.
And like I would definitely. I've said this to my students' parents when they get to a certain level where if they want to go from like, they have their intermediate level, then they're gonna slightly go into advanced. Like when they're on the verge of going into advanced, I would definitely tell them to pass them on to somebody else. Like I could read sheet music and I can do that, but like Unless if they still want to work with me, like that's fine. But I know there's a level of my professionalism that I'm not gonna like BS the kid and BS the parents and be like, look, he needs someone that's at like a master level. Like they don't have to have a degree, but like somebody's been doing it for a profession for a while. And I'm just pulling up this article on guitar.com. Apparently, dude, the debt's $1.4 billion that hangs over Guitar Center right now. That's insane, dude. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Well, they were trying to sell the idea of you buy an instrument and you get like a free hour lesson in conjunction with your
That's why
work.
they're doing it. That makes sense.
I know they tried at one point, but I don't know how. I don't know anybody that's ever gone to Guitar Center for a lesson before.
Big names in the industry would also almost certainly survive through. Even the biggest would be wounded, which could result in reduced mild development. That is true. I think they're starting to like go into something else. It can't be stressed enough that the most observers expect Chapter 11 to be filed, and somehow Guitar Center will appear out the other side, still burn with a huge amount of debt. Oh, that's not a burn. That's fucking that's traumatic. But having dodged the executioner's axe yet again, how many more times will it manage? Assuming it does, if it's anyone's guess, sooner or later. Some financial genius is going to have to work out to manage that 1.4 billion debt that hangs over it like a sword. Oh, dude, my heart. My fucking heart, dude. And like it's more so from the company as a corporate itself. Like it's, you know, the people who work there that thoroughly enjoy it. And I don't know what's gonna happen. Sweetwater definitely took over, but maybe local music stores will be able to take a, you know, they're gonna have to cut back stores. They're gonna have to cut back guitar centers. They're gonna have to start selling. I don't know
Yeah,
what, but
there is no like local stores around here that I know of, except for. I mean, there is. They're just not within like this 10-minute radius. They're probably like 25, 30 minutes away from me. But
where's your guitar center?
literally like 5 seconds away from my house.
So that's convenient. Yeah, that's why there's no music stores. We have music. I have Music Forte in Bucks County. We used to have George's Music. That used to be in Ben Salem, I believe. I don't know where that went. That was out there for a while. I don't know if it's still there. I don't know. I never really look at it the same. Sam Ash Guitar Center. Sam Ash has been doing their same shit for so long. I mean,
I love Sam Ash, man.
I don't mind it.
I prefer Sam Ash over Guitar Center.
The Sam Ash where I usually go to is it's pretty dry. Like there's nothing that interesting that they have different from Guitar Center. They definitely have less of a product to show. Actually, I really enjoy their drum room more than Guitar Center. I'm gonna take that back.
They have way better drum inventory than Guitar Center, obviously.
Yeah, their drum inventory is huge. Like I think they have at least like 30 snares on display, and it blows my mind.
And their brass and orchestral instrument section is way better.
Yeah, I don't even think Guitar Center even focuses on that. I think they focus on the accessories, the audio engineering.
Yeah, Pro Audio in there is actually really good.
Pro Audio is really good in there. I remember taking a couple classes. They were doing that. I didn't buy this Scarlett. I have a Scarlett I. What is it? A Scarlett I 80 something? 18i20. I have a Scarlett 18i20 for my interface for podcast, and I was doing it for drum recording. But I had a pre-Sonus prior to that. It was decent. It was whatever, but it was cool because when I bought it, they did give me those free lessons. So I would go in for an hour or 45 minutes every Sunday at 7 a.m. for a month straight, and they would like give me these intro tips to like how to get started and record my own drum stuff. And I was like, that's fucking cool. Of course I'm gonna buy one of that. Are you kidding me?
You can literally learn anything off of YouTube now, though.
Who was I just talking to earlier about this? Dude, honestly, like, we're just evolving into in-studio production. Like, you don't even have to go to these big studios anymore. You could just make a banger at home. And I was talking to Schuler about it.
That's what Foo Fighters did when they were on the Something from Nothing tour. They put out like a secret album that they wrote in GarageBand, the free product on a Mac, on the tour bus. And they released the full album that way. It sounded great.
So fucking cool. I mean, the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance was recorded on a bus, but they obviously went to a studio to do it. But Foo Fighters, I mean, that was what they did. They recorded it at home, and then
no, they recorded on the tour bus.
On the tour bus? That's insane, dude. Yeah. That's so fucking cool. Yeah.
They recorded that on the tour. I know Queens of the Stone Age does that through GarageBand a lot. I don't know how much of like the mixing part of it they do.
That's
That's
so
why I
funny.
bought a Mac, is because GarageBand's awesome and it's so easy.
It's easy to manipulate it. You don't have to get too specific with it. It's good for rough recordings. I mean, if you can really take it into consideration and make a really fucking phenomenal album, that's awesome. Good on you. Like, I don't know how to do that. That's a whole other beast in itself. So apparently, I just keep finding out more information. I'm just reading this article as we're talking. But the highly respected Music Trades Journal has estimated that an eye-watering $375 million is owed to suppliers, landlords, and other trade creditors. So inevitably, the first thing that would have to happen would be a major sale. So yeah, so I was right. So they're gonna have to start selling something, like actually sell stores. They can't pay these landlords off.
No, not a chance.
What the
I,
fuck?
I I don't even know how you get that big of a hole. Like that's terrible.
It seems. I mean, they've had multiple buyers over there. I think there was a buyer in 2007. Don't quote me on this, but I think there was a couple buyers that, tried to reamp the company from bankruptcy, and it hasn't been working. And with COVID, that's not fucking helping either. So,
No, no.
and it's not like they can ship anything. I've never like where the Guitar Center is for me. It's local, so I have to drive like maybe 15 minutes to it. But if I really needed something, you
Yeah,
know,
I
I,
mean,
I don't know, it's so rough.
you can buy shit online from it. It's just that's not where you go. Everybody goes to Sweetwater, Musicians Friend, Zounds, like those sites. It's just they're way better. Like the interface is way better.
Yeah, I just don't think we're gonna lose Guitar Center. I think it's just gonna actually have to come back a notch, like the franchise is gonna have to really shrink itself to try to pay off the debt, and then wait for this whole global pandemic to be over and done with, and then take it on again. I don't know. They had to do something different because they're getting killed by Sweetwater. Musicians Friends is kind of the same thing too. So,
Mhm.
but man, they're not doing well, and that's a shame. I feel bad for the employees that just work there. I mean, I'll never forget when I worked at Circuit City for a
You worked at
week.
Circuit City?
Bro, listen to this story, right? So I worked at Circuit City for a week, right? It was fucking dog shit because I was like 16 years old or 17 years old. I forget how old I was. I was in like a junior in high school. And I was like, yeah, they asked me what department I wanted to be in. And I was like, please put me in the music, video games,
Yeah.
department. Like that's what I know. That's all I know. And then they threw me to computers. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Like I'm talking to an actual teacher that I had in like ninth grade, and she couldn't stand me. So I'm trying to sell her a computer. And I'm reading off this list, and she's calling me out. She's like, "You reading off the fucking list?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm reading off the list." And I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, so basically, long story short, I quit. Like I mean, I'm 17 years old. Like I live with my parents. I don't have any fucking bills, but I quit, walk out, go see my girlfriend, hang out. Literally 2 hours later, or like it had to have been within a 24-hour window. It had to have been either like because I remember like getting the news so fast. But Circus City filed for bankruptcy, and everybody like as soon as I walked out, dude, like they just filed for bankruptcy out of nowhere, and then everybody's like, oh, like we're all gonna be let go. And I was like, and I had like a couple friends that worked there. I was like, wait, really? Did it just file for bankruptcy? Like, I guess
I was
me
like,
walking
yeah,
out must have done
I didn't
something.
even you were old enough to even have had the opportunity to work in Circuit City. It's been gone for so long.
And it turned into H Greg, which was essentially the same fucking thing, but different
I think
branding.
that
Like,
that's what that was.
yeah, it was so weird because I walked into H Greg. I was like, I wonder what it's about because I'm a Best Buy kind of guy. I love Best Buy, dude, through and through. But I walked back
That's
to H Greg, and like all the same managers are working at H Greg. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. So it's essentially fucking Circuit City, and Circuit City was pretty rad. I like that. I like that place.
yeah.
I like
That's
I
so funny.
spoke I like spoke that into existence by my actions. I was just like, I'm out. Company's bankrupt. See you later. And that's when the economy was all right. Well, like 2007, 2008. That's when the recession started to happen, actually. So no, the economy was not that great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think Guitar Center's going away. I could see it actually. I could actually see Guitar. What is Leia doing at the light? If anybody's listening, his
Opening him up,
dog is like
she's
moving the
opening,
blinds.
sliding by the door, the curtain, and it's really sunny outside.
You look super holy right now. Like it's just the lights just starting to really illuminate your whole body. Like, oh, yes, oh, no. I want to play
Like
monk music right now, but I don't know if I'd be copywriting it, so I don't want to get flagged, so I just won't play it at
like
all.
the Queen album cover,
Oh,
whatever that.
God, that was such a great album too. So underrated. So underrated, especially in that time period. I mean, they became relevant because of that movie.
my god!
that focus on Freddie Mercury, and it's amazing. You're right. What's the matter? Your face looks like you ate something sour.
I think my cataracts just got burned off from the sunlight.
Oh Jesus! Oh
Yeah.
no bueno. Could you imagine if Guitar Center like actually changes their name to something else if they get bought out again?
Maybe they should, not be Guitar Center, but like Music Center. Because they sell everything. Why, stop calling yourselves Guitar Center. It's so stupid.
Right. Like Mike Vierrock was a genius. Instead of Guitar Rescue or whatever, and now it's the Guitar Rescue. Oh, like that's actually pretty smart.
Yeah.
Marketing wise.
Marketing genius.
Marketing genius. And his social media looks incredible, dude. I drool over those fucking guitars that he touches.
I love when he gets the sick fucking instruments that come in. He gets some weird shit that comes through his door. I love seeing the pictures that he posts of the stuff that comes in. It's awesome.
I can't wait to go do a podcast in his fucking shop. That's gonna be sick.
Maybe he's a cool dude.
A tour or something. Yeah, he's a really cool dude. What's the one that he did recently? If you guys are interested in their social media page, it's literally the Guitar Rescue on Instagram. He posted something recently that was so gorgeous and clean.
He posted Epiphone Les Paul, and it's only like a $500, $600 guitar, but the finish on it was a Epiphone Les Paul classic worn, and it was purple, and it looks so juicy.
That's a good way to describe it. That's a really good way to describe it. Yeah, he's got so many guitars coming in and out. Oh, dude, I can't find it, but the one that really blew my mind. I know, Zach, you're not gonna be able to see it because you can't see me when we're in video chat. But what is this? It's a Joni Mitchell signature model. Dude,
oh, really?
It is the most death black metal guitar edge. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's so edgy looking. If you guys want to see what I'm talking about, go to the Guitar Rescue Instagram page. And it was perfect for Halloween too. It looks creepy like a shit, but it's a very interesting guitar.
Which one?
It's black. It's on the right side of the page.
Black. It's on the right.
Yeah. Right under the PV.
On his Facebook or his Instagram?
No, it's Instagram. I'm sorry.
I don't see anything.
Just go. Just scroll down a little bit.
How many?
A little bit. He's got. It's right before, or it's right after the base with the $20 bills as the picture.
Oh, yeah. It looks like a BC Rich on steroids.
That's what it looks. That's exactly what it looks like. Or a Dean, dude. Have you ever played Dean basses? Oh.
It's a
fucking garbage.
October Guitars signature model for Doyle from the Misfits.
So crazy.
Thing's ugly as shit.
It's hideous. It's absolutely hideous, dude. And that's the kind of shit that he gets.
And strumming along to that, on an afternoon, that's what you grab. You don't grab an acoustic or something. You just grab that.
You're gonna fucking show off at a dive bar with that baby in your hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah, go to an unplugged acoustic gig, but bring that as your lead instrument. That would be a flex.
Yeah. That would be a flex. That would be the most obnoxious flex. This guy's about to fucking separate the room.
Yeah,
get
seriously.
a wall of death going. I don't know. That's insane. Yeah. Dude, I mean that's cool shit. But yeah, there's not a lot of luthiers. So yeah, Guitar Center's got to restructure or something. I don't think they're gonna go away anytime soon. It's just they have to figure out what the fuck they're gonna do with their debt. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they will actually completely
I hope
end
not,
it.
but if they do, I'm getting in line for that blowout sale, boy.
Yep, seriously. Oh, dude, I don't know. I just I would feel so bad for Mike because I know he probably worked so long. Mike Chaparro would probably work so long to get Guitar Center, and him in a relationship over the years because he couldn't get stand match. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, Mike Chaparro is the custom drummer owner for SJC. Co-founder actually with his brother, but dude, and they just made that partnership. I don't know. I feel really bad for him. That would be so shitty. That'd be so fucking shitty.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know, but we'll keep an eye on Guitar Center. We'll see what they're doing. I don't know how long it's gonna take for them to actually make some kind of change, but I know it's not gonna happen overnight. And we also have, for anybody listening to it at the end of the episode, we're going to finish it now. We have been very busy booking. That's why we're a little delayed on this episode. Sorry about that. However, we have a lot of crazy guests coming up, and there was a few rescheduling on my part and some of the guests' parts too, which is okay, which is why we're a little behind. But it's all booked now for next week, so we're going to be. I think we have like literally 4 or 5 podcasts this coming week to record and get out there. It's insane. And we have Drink It or Leave It with that's gonna be a secret. That's gonna be a secret, so I won't tell anybody yet. We won't tell anybody. But we're doing that Wednesday. So I'm gonna get drunk on a Wednesday after I have an interview with something. So it's gonna be incredible.
Heck yeah.
And if you guys want to, you can subscribe to us on YouTube with the Limelight Podcast. If you're watching it now, we're also on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, etc. Amazon, and then Instagram is the Limelight Podcast. Twitter is Limelight_pod. Facebook, Limelight Podcast. We're so close to 100 subscribers on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe. And yeah, you got anything going on? You got anything to say, Zach, before we head out of here?
No, I'm probably gonna take a nap after this and enjoy the rest of my day.
Good, you deserve it.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're welcome. I still fucking hate you, though. I'm just kidding.
What are you doing today?
I'm gonna go hang out with my girlfriend in Philly. We're gonna literally do like a little Friendsgiving with her sister and her husband, her brother-in-law.
Don't get cooties.
I already have cooties. It's a shame.
Oh.
Yeah, spread that shit like wildfire.
Oh.
All right, boys and girls and dudes and dudettes, thank you. We will be seeing you very soon. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you later. Bye. 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 Zach's not okay.